All right, what's up, Facebook? So I'm not gonna be long today. I just wanted to come live. I'm in a good mood. It's fight day. Oh, it's fight day, and I'm fired up. So I don't know who y'all got tonight, McGregor or Poirier, but the whole card is gonna be good. The whole card is like 13 fights with the prelims and the main card. It's gonna be an exciting night. So I'm in a good mood, and I wanted to come live. You saw the caption. What I'm going to talk about briefly is just your environment has to be conducive to growth, and you have to be in a place that gives you room to grow and expand. I didn't realize this, where I came from, my previous, business. I was what I guess you could call a big fish. I had a lot of influence and reached, the top levels of the company, and And then where I came to in August of last year, so next month will make a year that I've made this transition. Seems like it was just yesterday, but um, I'm I'm somewhat of a small fish now. So it's uh, it's interesting because I had a unique perspective. Making that transition, I was like, you go from somewhere where everyone knows who you are. You go to an event, people want to take pictures with you. They want to talk to you. They know your life story. You've spoke on stage in front of thousands of people multiple times, and you're somewhat of a, I guess you could say, celebrity inside of that community. Well, I come to this new company, and of course that's not the case, because no one knew who I was. I didn't know anyone in the company except the person who I reached out to get started, and we weren't even close friends at the time. It was just someone who I followed. So it was fresh. Everything was new. But what I've realized over the last year is I feel like I have so much more room to grow. If you put a shark in a fishbowl, a baby shark in a fishbowl, it's only going to grow so big because it has no room to grow. If I were to plant a tree in this Yeti mug, right, it's not going to grow. It can only grow so big. It only has so much room to grow. So I said in the caption, you'll never know who you can become. I saw Ray Higdon actually posted this the other day on Facebook. You'll never know who you can become if you're listening to or surrounded by or influenced by people who are still playing small. If you're going to the same places, seeing the same people, hearing the same speeches, nothing's changed. Nothing's changing, and everyone staying the same. See, you're either growing or you're either ripening or rotten. You're either gaining ground or losing ground. You're never staying the same. So if you're not growing, if you're not going forward, you're going backwards. That's just the fact of the matter. So if you're not in a place where you can grow and expand, then you're holding yourself back. You're losing ground there. And I didn't realize until I've experienced this, and got around people playing the game at an extremely high level, like people earning multiple six figures a month. I've never even met someone that made multiple six figures a month, much less hang out with them, associate with them, learn from them. That's just, that's serious. My dream, my goal on my dream board was always, I want to be a six-figure a month earner by my 40th birthday. That's how it's been for since I started, in this profession 9 years ago. And it's cool when you can get around people that are even playing that. One of my buddies, Peter, said, if you want to become a millionaire, hang out with billionaires. You'll get there faster, or learn from billionaires. You'll get there faster. Well, it's like, you don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room, or if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And the reason that is, or I think I said in the caption, if you're the most influential person in the room, you're in the wrong room, because Jim Rohn says you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most, right? It's nice to be around people that you may have influence over. It's nice to be in a room where you're the smartest person in the room. It's nice to feel, what's up, Blake? People's opinions will never pay your bills. Hang around people that have a vision. Amen, brother. Amen. So it's great to be around people that you have influence over because it makes you feel good. They look up to you. They want your advice. You know, they you know how that feels, right? But it's also important to get around people who have influence over you that you can learn from. They cause you to grow and they cause you to stretch. They inspire you to want to be a better person. They inspire you to want to to be better. What's up, Michael? Yeah, absolutely, man. So that's what I challenge you to do. I challenge you to get around some people that are playing the game at a higher level. I challenge you to take your tree out of the mug and plant it in the ground where it has room to grow and you can grow as big as you could possibly grow. Because if, like Jim Rohn says, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. So if you're the highest of those, if you're the highest of the average in that group, so like let's say you're in a room with 5 people and you're the most influential, you're the smartest, you're the wealthiest, you're the alpha in that group, right? Well, guess what's going to happen if that ideology is correct? Then the other 4 people or the other people are going to bring your average. The average is going to bring you down. It's going to bring you down. But if you're the lowest, by default, it's going to bring you up. Right? And I'm not saying don't ever hang around with people that you have influence over, because it's important to add value and to lift people up, you know. But you have to also have to have the ability to get around people that are better than you. I mean, that's just, there's no really other way to say it. People that are better than you, that have grown more than you, that have developed, you know, are more personally developed than you are. Because what it's going to do is you're going to learn and it's going to cause you to grow and stretch. And it's going to be like, wow, I need to get better, you know? And when you go to events and you hear things you've never heard and you hear, you know, it's hard to explain this because a lot of you may not be in the same position that I am or have experienced what I've experienced. You know, I know people listening to me are from all different, you know, walks of life, different businesses, professions, things like that. But I have a unique perspective about this because all I've ever known was this one way and this one environment, and to be taken out of that bubble and to see the big picture and it was so enlightening because I was in a bubble. You know, I didn't know what I didn't know. We don't know what we don't know. And I'm just telling you that if you intuitively feel that you may be in a limited environment, meaning you don't have the room to grow, you've seen all there is to see. It's the same thing. You're just going through the motions. It's the same thing. And you're just, you've made it in that world. You may have outgrown that world. So I would just say sometimes having the courage to make a hard decision and expand your horizon a little bit to get around some people, you know, making it happen may not be a bad thing. In my case, it was the best thing that I ever could have done. Looking back, the blessings that have come from making one of the hardest decisions of my life have absolutely changed everything. It's changed my perspective. It's changed my outlook on life. It's changed my goals, my dreams, and quite honestly, it's given me a bigger belief on not only what I can do, but just what's possible. You know. Hey Tina, so I was teaching a leadership class this morning, going over how to win friends and influence people. Great book, Dale Carnegie. I pray that I can empower people to be a better version of them. I love that. And that's exactly right. And we need people like that to inspire other people to live their best life and grow. But we, as leaders, have to get around people that can do the same for us, because there's always somebody playing the game at a higher level. Hey, Christy, you're awesome. So that's what I would encourage you to do. Do not be a tree. if you were to take a sequoia tree. Have you ever been to the sequoia? I think I heard Justin Prince talk about this at an event, one of my first virtual events I saw with this company. And he talked about planting a tree in a coffee mug. And that analogy is just so brilliant because so many people that I can think of, so many people where they're at. I'm not going to be specific here, but I can think of people, and I mentioned this in one of my Facebook lives before, that are like a red sequoia tree planted in a freaking coffee mug. They have no room to grow and expand. And it's sad because you know the talent that these people have, you know the potential that they have, who they can be, and it's just they're so limited because of where they're at. For instance, if you're let's just say you're in a 9-to-5 job, and your income or your compensation is the same no matter how hard you work. So like, for instance, you could work, let's just use what I used to do as an example, state police. Okay. Let's say I made I don't remember even what I made there. It's been over 7 years, and they probably make way more now than when I was there. But let's just say I was making $25 an hour. Okay. Me and my buddy, we make $25 an hour. We're both state troopers. Let's say I went out, worked hard, put criminals in jail, worked my butt off, made a lot happen, served the community in a very positive way, was on the SWAT team, taught the defensive tactics, did all this stuff. Hang on, please. Did all this stuff. And my buddy also worked state police. And what he did was sit under the oak tree and watch Netflix on his laptop. And we were both get paid the same per hour. We both were compensated the same. So that's not the best place for someone who has. Hang on, I'm on a Facebook Live. Please hang on. All right, sorry, kids. I got 5 kids here right now, or actually 4 kids right now. Anyway, so I think you get my point. You have to have the room and the ability to grow and expand. So if you're paid on your value, not on your time, you have that ability. And if you can grow your value, let's see what Blake said. Being around people that are more successful than you can be uncomfortable, but growth only comes from getting outside of your comfort zone. Brilliant. That's brilliant. So, hang on. Yes. Yes. Yes, you can have one. You can have a popsicle. Okay. So that's what happens. That's part of the Facebook Live, I guess. You go live. So I forgot what I was saying. I was reading Blake's quote. Yes. Getting outside your comfort zone. You got to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's how you know you're growing, is if you're uncomfortable. In fact, you should be attracted to be uncomfortable. You should be like, if you're too comfortable in a position, that should make you uneasy. Like, I'm too comfortable. Your comfort zone is your broke zone. All right. So if you are feeling like, this is easy, life's good, I'm okay, like not feeling you're not feeling any resistance, you're not growing. Just like working out, right? Working out. What causes your muscles to get bigger? Resistance. That's the same with everything in life. That's how you grow, is resistance. And if you're not feeling resistance in a situation, if you're just going with the motions, it's just easy, you're not growing. You're not growing. So, sometimes God forces us to be in a position of growth. Sometimes it's like, man, why is this? I mentioned this maybe in a text on Facebook, or a post I made. I just said, instead of asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Ask yourself, why is this happening for me? And sometimes it's because God's putting you in a position of resistance for you to grow. He's forcing you to grow. When I made that transition 11 months ago, it was because my back was against the wall and I did not have an option but to move. And then that move, of course, exposed me to blessings, and it's been a breath of fresh air, obviously, but it's also put me in a position now. I not only have room to grow, I was forced to grow. And sometimes when you make a commitment like that, when a leader has the courage to make a commitment, they're forced to become resourceful, because resourcefulness follows commitment. Because when you make that decision and you got to do it, well, guess what? Now you got to figure it out. If it's important to you, if you're committed and you're like, hey, I got to do this for my family, for my life, you're going to figure it out. You're going to figure out how to do that. So I'm fired up. I'm fired up about that. I know I was a little all over the place today. I'm fired up about the fight tonight. I'm fired up about life. And I guess my message is just put yourself, see what Tina said. Love it. I had that exact thing this morning on my leadership Zoom. Awesome. Very good. That's exciting stuff. So put yourself in a position to be able to grow. Don't be a shark in a fishbowl, and don't be a tree in a coffee cup. So that's all I got today. I hope it makes sense. And I'm fired up. Let me know who you got in the fight tonight with your kiddo. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. You had somebody come in on your leadership live this morning with a kid. That's awesome. Stacy, thank you, Stacy. I appreciate the comment. And so anyway, get out there, get uncomfortable, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, get in the room with people playing the game at a higher level than you, and get them to, challenge you. Challenge yourself to be more like someone. It's not a bad thing to emulate someone or want to read the same books someone's reading, or listen to the same, audios someone's listening to, who's at a place in life that you want to be. Because the more you can learn to think like those people, and the more you associate with people like that, the more you're going to think, like they think. It's the rule of 6, right? You hang around 5 smart people, you're going to be the 6. You hang around 5 millionaires, you're going to be the 6. You hang around 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6. You hang around 5 alcoholics, you're going to be the 6. Hang around 5 divorced people, you're going to be the 6. It's just like, it's the rule of 6. So if you're just hanging around people that are just doing the same thing all the time, that's what's going to happen. Get around some people that are making things happen. Get around some people who are making power moves and where you want to be. And things will start happening for you. But grow yourself. You got to work on you. Get uncomfortable. Don't settle. Life's too short to settle. Get uncomfortable, and I think things are going to start happening for you. I know they will. So with that, have a great weekend. God bless. Much love. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. And I hope you guys have a blessed day. We'll talk soon.